I wanted to talk about cooked food, relapse, just because it's what happened to me last night. And I probably used the worst of the ways to cook my food, which was the microwave. And I'm not really saying that from personal experience because I haven't caught dementia or Alzheimer's or any of these diseases that have been popping up lately, I would say. My ex's grandfather just died at 105 years old, and as far as I'm concerned, he smoked cigarettes until he was 80. And, he didn't die in a hospital or anything, which is how I want to go out. I really don't want to go out in a hospital. He also didn't seem to have the best diet. I cried at his funeral because I didn't get to really have conversations with him. I might have asked him like one question, but that was about it. I was kind of intimidated by his age. When you see somebody over 100 years old, you don't really know how they lived. You can't really determine how they lived just by looking at them. I guess you would have had to have seen them throughout your years growing up. I had one grandma or great grandma lived to be, I think, 96, and I remember her face. I think I had a dream about her, so I don't think I quite vividly remember seeing her in person, but I might have been too young for that. Anyway, she was and yeah, one thing I want to say about like being on camera, like social media and all that, compared to basically like I would call it like money laundering, just to like get somewhere through something. Because really, this is just like therapy. Shout out to Drain Rider. It's just therapy. You gotta like do something and not make yourself so schizophrenic or have like these voices talking to you or whatever. But that's another topic. I'm just saying what I wanted to get on was just that, when Native Americans were conquered by the white man, by the so-called white man, Christopher Columbus and all that, what if like all of this shit is just labels, and the spirit and everything. That's why they say spirits are bad. And if knowing is a disease, it's a hell of a fucking disease, man. Because they say knowing is half the battle. Well, it sure is hell true right now. But anyway, back to cook food relapse. Like, you really can't just eat cooked food, man. That's why I'm picking chemicals, nicotine, over this other shit, man. And just to work my way up the pyramid, I'm going straight to, just to get to the top of the pyramid, I'm going straight to vegetables. Probably like kale. I don't think we're biologically supposed to be eating lettuce. I mean, unless it's like romaine lettuce, but I don't know how. So maybe I'll go for the romaine lettuce today. But I'm not gonna say we're biologically our bodies are biologically supposed to be eating like avocados, man. I'm not gonna stand behind that. Anyway, I think like avocados are a good alternative. But man, like I'm noticing how slow the process of basically recovery is if you're actually. I'm gonna walk the other direction because of that lawnmower. If you're actually eating, you know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna eat, you might want to go with vegetables. All right, because this is what I've learned, man. I've learned that vegetables are at the top of the pyramid. Like, vegetables are the best thing for you because they don't have any sugar. The only sugar that would be in there would be from like artificial means, like genetically modified organisms. And if it's organic, you shouldn't have to. You really shouldn't have to worry about those means. But who knows nowadays? But you want to be as safe as possible, so you really want to be buying organic vegetables and stay up on that. But I think everybody knows that. And it's not that people are afraid of fruits, it's just that people know the truth. And the truth has already gotten out there, but the truth is abused. Just like I abused it last night, having my starch and dairy, which I'm not going to lie about. I'll admit I was wrong on that. And just move forward. Because that's all we can do anymore. But I'll say this, like 9 times out of 10, throughout my 24 hours, I'm more about stopping the other 4 mistakes out of the 5 mistakes. Cooking your food, eating eating animals, consuming plants we're not biologically supposed to be eating, and using machines and everything, like, than I am over, chemicals. And the only chemical that I use is nicotine, for right now. But I mean, the only other chemical I would go back to would be cannabis, or THC, tetrahydrocannabinoid, just to smoke it. I mean, because I don't know, I don't see why I would consume marijuana anyway else other than to smoke it. But yeah, basically, you know, uh, I don't drink caffeine. But yeah, I mean, it's a cloudy day. Um, Ain't gonna be no sun today. I'll be fucking surprised if the sun comes out today. But yeah, like I was saying, yeah, man, people got problems, and they don't understand that it starts with, like, you wouldn't even have to start weaning yourself off of, like, I don't even have to start weaning myself off of nicotine, because as soon as I eliminate, those 4 other mistakes that I just mentioned, I'm back on the narrow path, so to speak. Because literally, if you think about it, and I mean, I should say, here's why I don't have to worry about nicotine. It's just because I'm correcting the other 4 mistakes, which again are, Well, yeah, I'm using fire. So, um, no, but I think it was cooking. I think it was cooking the food because it would be like grains and all that stuff. Um, Because yeah, these mistakes are these mistakes all stem from childhood and all that shit. You know, everybody knows that, but people just don't want to deal with their addictions, especially their cooked food uh, addictions. So relapses on cooked food are bad. Like you could start off with like a bowl of oatmeal, and I'm just saying like these foods have been compromised over time. I'm only 25, but you got to understand people are dying earlier, and even through the you could call it the underground media, through like social media, there's still fear-based um, tactics out there that are getting people to believe in what they're seeing and everything, like with these chemtrails or natural disasters or whatever it is, like HARP, radiation being poisoning from telephones or whatever, electromagnetic frequencies coming from the cell phones. You're not supposed to hold it too close to your head. There's that damn lawnmower again. I didn't hear it before. So, yeah, you just have to pretty much stop cooking your food and just go for, I would say, uh, leaves that were biologically adapted to consume. Like I just don't have the money for a fast. But then again, I was thinking about water fasting. So, I believe through water fasting, if I apply the knowledge that I know of water fasting, I can have a good recovery and probably lose like about 5 pounds right now. I'm probably about 185 pounds, maybe 186 right now after the meal I had last night. I had very minimal water, but it's going to be interesting to see when I step on the scale how much I weigh right now. Just to see what I weigh or whatever. But yeah, basically, we just really got to stop. We just really got to stop cooking our food, and that has to be number one. People don't realize that, especially people in my internet circle. It's very confusing to think you're healthy, to think you're healthy, or to be in the know of thinking you're healthy when you're not applying the correction of the first mistake, which is cooking of the food. So you could still be eating the most expensive rice, like wild rice, aka black rice, and still not know you're doing something wrong when really you should just be not even thinking about that at all. Because of your species specific diet. Which goes from being a breatharian to uh, like a herbivore to a frugivore to an omnivore. So yeah, something's not really right where we're at right now. Not being diligent in trying to correct, especially the first mistake, which is cooking of the food. I mean, I gotta like double check to see if that's the first mistake or if it is mastering fire. Because if it's mastering fire, then well, I'm using fire all day lighting my cigarettes. But I don't think it's fire. I think the first mistake is the cooking of the food. So, I mean, I've only been in class with John Rose for, I mean, maybe a month. You know, not that long. Actually, no, I take that back. I've known about him for a long time now. Actually, like four or 5 months. But how the time flies and how much cooked food I've had and fast food and pizza and even meat. Well, it's safe to say that I can, just forget about all that and just keep moving forward. Having the knowledge that I'm still probably 23 times more Christ-like than the people that worship Christ. So, you know, that's a funny piece of factual bullshit in itself. But yeah, I mean that's the world we live in. It's not too hard to see that someone or something is in opposition to what we have to do and strive to do, which is fast, and more fasting to get rid of the hypoheliosis, which is basically our ignorance of the sun and our fear of the sun, and then our hyperclonic tension, which is just the literal shit inside of our colons. And some say there could be 20 to 30 pounds of just pure shit in our colons, which are holding us back from being the best versions of ourselves. So, yeah, there's all that to worry about. And much more, I'm sure. So, you gotta stay tuned. Yeah, basically you just gotta fast, man. You just gotta fast as much as possible. Like start off with intermittent fasting. So you can say like, okay, well, I'm not gonna eat, or just say consume anything other than, like herbs, if you have herbs, or like supplemental pills at first. This is just at first, like what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take in like turmeric and milk thistle just to sort of align myself more, because I'm so in tune with the frequency of smoking cigarettes. So it's just like I can't stop doing that, so I might as well have something to like go along with that that'll make me feel a little bit better. I could have turmeric at the fresh market, so long as it's organic and all that stuff. I eventually want to make it out to farmers markets and talk to those guys, but it's been hard to come by so far. I don't know if I missed the season or whatever. I'm still going to try to catch up with some people and see what I can do, but I don't really want to ask certain people some questions. I just want to leave myself to it and find the information over the internet, since the internet is such a good source, such a valuable source of information. But yeah, I mean, you have to at least start off with intermittent fasting if you're not going to do like a 3-day fast. You know, I wouldn't suggest you fast right away if you're on medication. I know I certainly did not want to do any of that when I was on medication. I just wanted to eat whatever was in front of me. So, you know, if there's any opposition like that, the best thing to do is just to, you know, do what you feel in your heart. I'm not going to say all that, but just to consult your doctor, really, and see what they think about fasting. They'll either say the same thing as me, you know, like you're not ready for that, or they'll say it's a bad idea. And I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10 they'll say it's a bad idea, because even when I was ready to do it, my doctor still said it was a bad idea or just stupid. People really don't understand eating disorders just as much as they don't understand what I'm talking about. I don't understand eating disorders just as much as what I'm talking about. I'm just, you know, speaking pretty much from my heart and in the knowledge of what I know has to change, and people really need to start fasting and distrusting certain people around them who practice ill behaviors, such as drinking alcohol, like copious amounts, or smoking copious amounts of hallucinogenic herbs such as marijuana, or taking hallucinogenics such as ashes or shrooms, or just, you know, certain things, certain drugs you just can't use in society and expect to be alright and live fruitfully, meaning prosperly, prosperfully, how about just purposefully and productively and all that. You know, it's just not possible with our diets, strictly meaning what we consume through our mouths as edibles, you know, not as chemicals such as the smoke going down your throat, you know. Even when you consume something through your nose, it still gets processed differently. You know, you're not chewing it, you're sort of taking it as like a pill. You're taking it in like a pill form. It just works quicker than the pills because there's still blood vessels in your nostrils that will pick up the chemicals needed to incorporate a hallucination, or what have you. So there's a lot of things to be aware of, and there's a lot of things to sort of unknow. I'm not going to make these videos like over and over again. Well, I'm not going to like rewatch these videos. I don't think. Maybe one day when my videos get like less than 10 views, it is like a blow to my soul. Therefore, I either don't pay attention to them or I'll delete them. Whereas usually the videos that I'm getting a lot of hits for, they don't have much content or they don't carry a lot of weight with them because I don't have a lot of experience in what I'm talking about. I just would say that I practice what I preach from time to time, which is why I know some of this stuff works, which is why I've been able to be off medication for 5 or 6 months and not be in a hospital for a year after being in and out of hospitals for 3 or 4 years. So I have a lot of opinions on what happened to me throughout the stint I was in and out of hospitals or with therapists or psychoanalysis or psychologists or psychiatrists or whatever it was. So, I'm prepared to speak about all that too. But just know that I'll probably be smoking a cigarette. And that's about the worst thing I'm doing to myself. Honestly. I'll try to get into some sort of routine where I can put these videos out on a daily or nightly basis. And I'll just leave my Facebook page at that. Or I'll either just take a walk and put out the video after I finish my walk. Or whenever I have time. Right now I have all the time in the world since I didn't sleep last night, so expect the unexpected and just know that each video will probably be very different, but I wanted to focus this message on cooked food relapses or cooked food relapse. So that's where I live. The apartment right there with all the blinds up, unlike everybody else's in my complex. Everybody else in my complex has their blinds down, like they're afraid of something. So that's not me anymore. But it's hard to break these spells any other way, so I'm out.